running a company is incredibly hard, but it actually doesn't really matter if your idea is a smaller idea or a really big idea. It's still just as hard. So, and actually, there's a lot of advantages about it being a bigger idea in terms of exciting, co-founders and top talent, and also for you yourself when things get hard. If you're actually tackling a really big problem that really is important to you personally, but also important to the world, I think that can get you through a lot of hard times. So I would actually say it's sort of counterintuitively, like going for a bigger idea actually can sometimes be easier.
Let me be clear, your job, okay, is to ship a product, but your job is actually to help make your team successful, right? And it's to provide the right inputs to each of your experts, right? Your experts in design, your experts in code, so that they can produce the best output, right? And while they're producing that output, your job is to get things out of their way, right? Either that's making decisions, getting them the resources they need, removing roadblocks. You're not necessarily going to hit on the $1 million idea on day one. PayPal actually started as a company called Confinity, which was designed to send money between PDAs. Starbucks actually started selling espresso machines and coffee beans long before it ever opened stores in a European-style cafe. Nintendo, this one shocked the hell out of me. Nintendo actually used to sell vacuum cleaners and rice and run short-stay motels, if you can believe it. So constantly be open to those new opportunities.
When you understand why you guys are doing something as a group and what you stand for, it just really helps both in how you make decisions about product, how you make decisions about hiring, how you define corporate culture, how you define growth, how do you define hiring, and you start defining that. And it just helps later, especially when you start onboarding new employees, for them to get a feeling for how you operate, what the culture is, and how decisions are made.
It's your responsibility to go out and sell your product. It's your responsibility to build the product to your vision. And it's your responsibility to spend the money that the investors have given you. There are a lot of founders that will take the money that the investors have given them and keep it in the bank because they don't know how to spend. They look for the CFO to approve what they're doing, but they don't have a CFO. You, as the founder, are the most passionate person in the company about your product. Get a lead sourcer. Get somebody that can set you up with meetings, and then you go in front of the client or the potential client, and you sell it yourself.
Everyone is going to be looking to you. Everyone's going to be asking you questions. Everyone's going to be looking to you for inspiration. So prepare for success. Success will be petrifying for you because all that's going to happen is that the fairground ride is going to go faster and faster. One of the things that's worked for me in my career is looking at these as 4 kind of corners for my life. I look at whatever I do and try and make sure that I've got a fair, equal share between these 4 different things, which is working, learning, playing, and giving. I had a solicitor email me this morning saying about, what's it like working for a startup? I said, every day you're going to get a new challenge thrown at you. It might be a personality issue, it might be a technical issue, it might be a sales issue. Those aren't going to go away, they're just going to get harder. So you need to have a way that you plan your life around. It doesn't need to be this, it can be whatever you have, but set out from day one, looking at how you're going to, structure your life so that the business doesn't become you and you don't become the business.
There are a lot of advantages that startups have in their ability to innovate and to move and to be focused about what they're doing. And the more focused you are, the better your chances are of succeeding in that small thing. And always the challenge with a startup, right, is dreaming really, really big, but executing very small on a very small step and being the best at that narrow, tiny thing that you're starting with. And I like to say to people at startups, you don't know how good you have it. Because you really, when you're starting out early, you have no constraints. You're creating constraints for yourself as you go forward. But in the beginning, there's nothing. You can do anything. And that's the amazing thing about being in a startup, definitely early on, is that magical thing, this feeling that you could do anything you want.